I am not a church boy. I am not running like that. I had a very, very rambunctious youth. I said in my announcement speech that I have so many skeletons in my closet that if they could all vote, I could run for king of the world.
You know, as of this morning, I wouldn't blame anyone for thinking this election cycle could not get any crazier.
Never say never.
But in classic Murphy's Law fashion, it does. It gets wildly crazier. Because Vanity Fair just released a damning and disturbing profile, expose, whatever you want to call it, on independent presidential candidate and literal worm for brains, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
The New York Times reporting on a 2012 deposition during which RFK Jr. said doctors once found a parasite, a dead worm, in his brain.
And this buzzy profile by Joe Hagan, titled RFK Jr.'s family doesn't want him to run, even they may not know his darkest secrets, has exposed several unsavory stories from his past, including him posting a picture of a roasted dog carcass.
What did he say?
Yeah. You heard that right, and frankly, that ain't even the craziest one on the list. So brace yourself, folks. We're gonna go through and break down the most insane of the numerous revelations because they are fucking wild. If you enjoy this video, please consider smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel, and let's make like a worm and dive into the recesses of this guy's brain. Put some gloves on, folks, cause
it ain't pretty.
Now, RFK Jr.'s independent presidential run has been something of a roller coaster already. Whether it be his long shot bid to get on all 50 state ballots, or videos of him doing push-ups.
Let's go. That's a fit boy.
I mean, sure, that is a fit boy, which like, cool, dude, that's totally gonna swing over independent voters, which I meant as a joke, but I'm now realizing that's probably true. Or, you know, the aforementioned talk of worm for brains. This new report is now adding fuel to the fire, including the top moment of our list, and one of the craziest, but not nearly as damning or disturbing as number 5, this picture of Junior posing with what appears to be a cooked dog. Now, this has been circulating like wildfire on social media, but the backstory is pretty weird, which is saying something based on how weird that photo already is. So, according to Joe Hagan's reporting in the article, this photo surfaced last year when RFK Jr. texted the photo to a friend of him, you know, posing alongside an unidentified woman with the barbecued remains of what appears to be a dog. Kennedy allegedly told the person who was traveling to Asia that he might enjoy a restaurant in Korea that served dog on the menu, suggesting Kennedy had sampled dog. Now, the photo itself, according to the metadata, was taken in 2010, the same year, get this, that he was diagnosed with a dead tapeworm in his brain. And while Kennedy Jr., in that interview that you saw a bit of at the top of show, claimed that the photo was not of a dog, but rather a goat that he ate in Patagonia. Here's the clip.
There's a photo circulating, I believe, of you posing with what looks like a dog, a barbecued dog. I'm not gonna show the picture as a dog lover. I know you have pets.
The article is a lot of garbage. The picture that they said is of me eating a dog. It's actually me eating a goat in Patagonia on a whitewater trip many years ago on the Futalefu River.
But apparently that is contradicted by a veterinarian who examined the photograph and said the carcass is a canine, pointing to the 13 pairs of ribs, which include the telltale quote-unquote floating rib found in dogs. I'll leave the picture here a little bit for you so you can, I don't know, make that judgment yourself, all the anatomy experts out there. But yeah, look, I mean, as weird and disturbing as that picture is, the photo itself doesn't seem to be the crux of the issue here, right? but rather the context around the photo itself. Because while the intent of the photo appears to have been comedic effect, for the recipient, it was disturbing evidence of Kennedy's poor judgment and thoughtlessness, simultaneously mocking Korean culture, reveling in animal cruelty, and needlessly risking his reputation and that of his family. But yeah, that's the context, what's being reported, and I'm very curious to know your thoughts in those comments down below. But for sake of time, let's move on to the next ones, because I really want to get to number 5, which in my opinion is the most disturbing allegation made here, and I don't want this to be a 20-minute video, so let's kind of expedite through some of the other wild revelations. So moving on to number 2, apparently RFK Jr. snorted coke worry-free in front of a reporter, with the Vanity Fair article focusing extensively on Kennedy Jr.'s early years as an addict, something that he's openly spoken about on the campaign trail, and something we'll see in the later interview as well. But apparently he was so worry-free about his drug use, he once snorted cocaine in front of a reporter who was co-authoring a 1984 book on the Kennedys. So yeah, I mean, take that as you will. Obviously, addiction is kind of a central theme in this election with both Kennedy Jr., Hunter Biden.
Donald Trump Jr.'s on cocaine.
Don Jr.'s on coke. I have a cocaine addiction.
So while crazy, still not the most insane revelation we've ever heard, right? Then you have this revelation about him being kicked out of a nonprofit for taking a meeting with Trump, right? In 2017, he met with Trump in Trump Tower, and the nonprofit he was working for, Riverkeeper, for which he served as an attorney and spokesperson, faced internal backlash because of that. And, you know, on Monday morning, he's giving a speech saying, "Do not believe scientists on vaccines." And on Tuesday, he says, "You gotta believe scientists when it comes to climate change or what we're doing to the river," which is such classic political doublespeak. And according to the Vanity Fair report, although they framed it as Kennedy resigning, they actually kicked him out. Which leads us to number 4, which is a little more speculative, but also kind of interesting. Apparently, family lore had it that Kennedy, while attending Harvard, once leapt the gap between 2 6-story buildings. He kept an owl in his house and carried a live snake around campus. And they go on, because of his drug taking, heroin, cocaine, he was more prone to risky behavior. And about that, Kennedy's cousin Chris Lawford told the authors of The Kennedys, an American Drama, a controversial 1984 book about them, "Like all the rest of us, Bobby grew up feeling that being a Kennedy, you could do virtually anything you wanted. It was good because you got away with things other people wouldn't dream of. It was bad because it destroyed your sense of what was worth doing." Which is an apt, if a little too on the nose, segue into the final and most disturbing revelation of one of RFK Jr.'s babysitters claiming that she was assaulted by him. This, a woman by the name of Eliza Cooney, who came forward to accuse Kennedy Jr. of sexual assault while she worked as his part-time babysitter for his family at 23. She accused him of rubbing her leg while they were in a meeting at the home, and later asking her to rub lotion on his back late at night. Also alleging that he groped her later while she was in his kitchen. And Kennedy's team did not respond to any of Vanity Fair's allegations, but he was asked about them in the interview we showed earlier, and here was his rather lackluster response.
Yourself, and also a sexual assault allegation from one of your former nannies. So I want to give you a chance to respond to that.
I am not a church boy. I am not running like that. I had a very, very rambunctious youth. I said in my announcement speech that I have so many skeletons in my closet that if they could all vote, I could run for king of the world. Mm-hmm. So, you know, this Vanity Fair is recycling 30-year-old stories, and I'm not, going to comment on the details of any of them, but I am who I am.
You're talking there about the nanny situation. I mean, I do have to ask her. I mean, are you denying it or not?
I'm not going to comment on it.
All right. Well, I gave you the opportunity, and officially it's a GOAT.
So yeah, folks, this is a wild time to be an American voter. I mean, clearly no one is perfect, but when the 3 presidential nominees are these guys, and it seems like every day some other crazy crap comes out about one of them, or one of them fails a debate or gets presidential immunity, it just seems like such a train wreck. And I genuinely don't know how we go about fixing this other than reporting on it, giving you the context, and then, letting people make their own decisions. But again, that's what's gotten us here. So, but yeah, I don't know. I guess if you have anything uplifting, please comment them down below. Let me know your thoughts on everything we covered here. And hang in there, folks. God bless all your souls. Thanks for supporting the channel. It's been a tough few days, trust me. We all know. But it is very nice to have a supporting community like all of you watching these videos and helping bring us all together. All right, I'll stop ranting and venting my distress. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse, and I'll see you guys in the next one.